Where's Mom and Summer?
Oh, they're gone. Sorry, Morty.
Gone?
We spent a long time in that ice. The gentle mutant licked us out, but Beth got sick and Summer didn't thaw right.
What the hell, Dad?
Don't take it personal, Morty. That's one of the 4 agreements. I don't remember the other 3, but I know Commissioner Gordon was cool with Batman moving on.
Batman doesn't abandon people.
You abandoned us.
But you know, it improved you.
Oh, am I cool enough for you now? Well, that was easy. It only cost me f***ing everything.
Whoa, hey,
You came back and talked about us like we weren't people, Morty. And you bailed and left us to freeze.
I was apologizing for that earlier.
Your mom and sister died, Morty. And I moved on from caring.
Please don't go. If Rick comes back, we can find you a new reality. A new mom, a new Summer, a job.
Oh, you don't get it, kid. Except for this conversation, my life is perfect. Rick was always right. Everyone needs to let go.
Oh, it's so good to be back. Hello there, my lovely viewers. I missed you all, except these folks. Your comments are quite confusing. 3 months? Damn, I've really been gone. But who cares about that now? I'm back. So let's talk about Jerry. Not that one. This one. I know it's been weeks since we got to see this unique version of Jerry. At some point, I even hated the version that we've got to know, especially when he screwed up Morty's life in that one episode. Really, Jerry? How the fuck did you think that was the TV remote? You! Fortunately, the show has been doing a remarkable job in redeeming Jerry, like in the Night Family episode. Not gonna lie, I did not expect him to be the one who saves the family. If you don't know, Rick and Morty is an adult animated show starring the smartest man in the universe, sometimes a drunk, Rick Sanchez, and his teenage grandson, Morty Smith, in their crazy adventures across the universe and, sometimes, the multiverse. I love this show, like, really love it. Sure, there were some hiccups, but yeah, still love it. So it came as no surprise that, like any other Rick and Morty fan, I was totally blown away by the first episode of season 6. Did anyone expect any of the surprises we got? Because I surely didn't. But the thing which caught most of my attention was Cronenberg Jerry. Like a lot of fans, I thought he was gone, like gone. He and the rest of his family, minus Morty, was frozen in ice by the citadel of Rick's enforcers. And well, the one other character who got frozen in ice did not make it out alive. But he returned, and surprisingly looked pretty badass. Not in the shotgun wielding badass like we saw in episode 6 of season 1, but more like a only survivor of an apocalypse kind of way badass. Maybe like I Am Legend? I don't know, I'm just thinking at the top of my head. Having lost everything, this Jerry changed quite a lot. He became stronger, cunning, and even unpredictable because he stopped caring as nothing seemed to matter anymore. Yup, he became the Rickest Jerry. Yeah, those are 5 words I never thought I would say. But then again, Rick and Morty is always full of surprises. And if you've watched the series as much as I have, that's really not an understatement.
What the hell is wrong with you people? You just have an incest space monster in your back pocket, huh?
You will have sex with your mother.
Raise your hand if he speaks for you. What the fuck?
That's a bug! Dad rolled into a bug!
I know what you're thinking. The Rickest Jerry? Better just call him Cronenberg Jerry instead. I mean, that's what the rest of the fan base calls him. And yeah, I did call him that in this video too. But then again, how could I make this video then? Besides, the shit this Jerry was forced to go to was just wow. Regular Jerry gets shit on, sure, sometimes justifiably, but Cronenberg Jerry was on a whole new level. His world became Cronenberged. He lost his family and his son who forsake him came back, not because he remembered him, but really because of an accident caused by Rick, who was partly to blame for the way this Jerry's life has become. The other blame was, of course, Morty, who couldn't keep his hormones in check around Jessica. Yeah, sure, Jerry gets called a loser by little air, but Cronenberg Jerry, he had to beat the apocalypse on his own with nothing but his wits and skills. And that's saying quite a lot, especially when you compare that to other versions of him across the multiverse. Sure, Morty did show up, but it's pretty obvious that Cronenberg Jerry held a deep grudge towards him. And weirdly enough, it wasn't like he despised Morty that much. He surprisingly showed a bit of sympathy by apologizing for what became of his original Summer and Mom. He even told him what happened to them, and it's quite depressing really. It turned out that Summer didn't thaw right from the ice, and I have a clue of how badly that went down. Summer was in a lean, running position when she got frozen by the rakes from the citadel, so it's possible that by she didn't thaw right, some part of her body got unfrozen, only to end up cutting off from the rest of her body due to the weight of the ice that was still on her. And damn, don't even get me on Beth. She did survive the thawing process, but not for long. She got sick and eventually died, which meant that Cronenberg Jerry had to watch his wife die a slow and painful death, almost like what Rick went through when he lost his wife and daughter. Now, do you see the similarity between Cronenberg Jerry and the Rickest Rick? But it doesn't end there. Cronenberg Jerry may not have been scientifically smart, however, he became far more resourceful and functional than his other counterparts, both mentally and physically, especially from the kind of savage he became in season 3. And much of this improvement only happened because he finally had no one else to blame but himself for his poor life choices. Not Beth, not Summer, not Rick, and definitely not Morty. Just him, Jerry, alone in the apocalypse, with the realization that he had to accept reality for what it had become. This isn't even a cool line he threw out there. Cronenberg Jerry from episode 1 to 6 of season 1 was just like any other Jerry, in which he blamed others, sometimes for his own low self-esteem and other shortcomings. If you don't believe that, then hear from what Rick had to say about him.
You self-righteous piece of shit! You took my family!
I took your family? Who do you think had more taken from them when you shot 20 cc's of liquid dream killer into my daughter? She was Rick's daughter, Jerry. She had options. Oof. That all ended because she felt sorry for you. You act like prey, but you're a predator. You use pity to lure in your victims. It's how you survive. I survive because I know everything. That snake survives because children wander off, and you survive because people think, oh, this poor piece of shit, he never gets a break. I can't stand the deafening silent wails of his wilting soul. I guess I'll hire him or marry him.
So by the time of season 6, episode 1, this Jerry had finally put all those bad aspects of himself away, making him no longer a Jerry in obvious ways. There was the apocalypse, sure, but the man had finally gained the total love and respect of his wife and daughter. At last, he achieved true happiness. But then the citadel of Rick's enforcer showed up and, well, leading to this moment.
Damn it, Morty, there's no doctors anymore.
Dad?
I wonder how his counterpart handles blood.
Remember, somebody has to catch me if I faint.
Yay, night family!
Yeah. He's pathetic. Except this Jerry, he was awesome. Honestly, Cronenberg Jerry would be something the Council of Ricks, I'm sure, would call a rogue Jerry. After all, this wasn't the common bumbling idiot house husband that the Ricks are used to. Even Prime Rick was surprised by how different Cronenberg Jerry looked. But going back to him being the Rickest Jerry, Cronenberg Jerry wasn't the only one like this. I can already think of a few other characters that come to mind, like Slow Rick, or Tall Morty as one Rick called him, and then there was Doofus Rick. And then there was Doofus Rick, a Rick that lacked the mean-spirited and confident attitude that we've seen from other Ricks. What do they have in common? Well, they shared some kind of trait with another member of the family. For Doofus Rick, he was so pathetic by Rick's standards that he understood and befriended a Jerry. So it's really not a stretch to call Cronenberg Jerry the Rickest Jerry. He literally abandons his own flesh and blood without a second thought. He stopped caring for others, and he doesn't think anything matters. Heck, the man goes so far as even quoting Rick, admitting that Rick was right about letting go. And he was only able to achieve this, a true sense of self-respect, after burying his grief in some fantastic books such as
Barnes and Noble, Four Agreements, Eat, Pray, Love, Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns.
Thanks, Jerry. So yeah, the man went through a whole character arc. And unlike how we finally got to know about Rick's backstory, we actually witnessed Cronenberg's own story from season 1. From a whining weak moron to a shotgun-wielding badass, he would then mentally degrade to a survivalist savage before finally becoming this improved version of himself. And just like the Rickest Rick, deep down, he wasn't happy about how it all went down.
You came back and talked about us like we weren't people, Morty. Then you bailed and left us to freeze.
I was apologizing for that earlier.
Your mom and sister died, Morty.
Oof, I can't say I blame him. Morty only returned because Rick accidentally sent everyone back to their universe of origin. And it wasn't like Morty couldn't have gone back to save his original family. In Season 5, Episode 9, Morty actually used Rick's portal gun to fix some of Rick's mistakes. The kid even had a list that he was carrying around, and not once did he put his original family as one of Rick's mistakes that he needed to fix. Of course, Cronenberg Rick didn't know that, but still, with what he did know, it was amazing how he never tried to kill Morty. It wasn't like he didn't have the stomach to do it. One time, he nonchalantly cut open a mutant, even going so far as making this off-putting theory about them.
In a few of these, the whole brain is still intact. Makes you wonder if some people were still in there, just trapped in the horror.
And then he calls them
Awesome protein.
That still looks like a human brain though. My man has been eating human brains. So, putting that aside, if that wasn't enough, he almost killed a Rick. A Rick, mind you, that Rick has been hunted down for years. Cronenberg Jerry truly lived the perfect life, as he once put it. But really, that's only something a Rick, our Rick, would tell himself to hide his insecurities, which says a lot. Our Rick acted like nothing mattered, when in reality, he cares very much for his family, even when he hides it. And now we had a Cronenberg Jerry, or the Rickest Jerry, quoted that same Rick only after he had an emotional outburst at Morty for treating him and the rest of his family differently, only to then leave them behind again to remain frozen in ice in the same terrible world that he helped create. You can even hear a crack in his voice if you listen closely, hinting that this Jerry hasn't fully let go of what has happened, just like our Rick. In Season 3, Episode 1, Rick lied that he's not driven on avenging his dead family, yet that contradicts why he actually came and stayed in Morty's original timeline. However, while Rick seemed fixated on avenging his dead family, Cronenberg Jerry stuck to the Rickest Rick policy of not caring. I mean, it's not like he couldn't have accepted Morty's offer. That was literally the perfect chance for Cronenberg Jerry to get some revenge. All he had to do was pretend to take Morty's offer, and he could have killed Rick when his guard was down. He already did something similar with Prime Rick, but for this one he didn't. Not only did he shoot down the chance to kill Rick, the man responsible for this apocalypse that he lives in, but he also refused the only chance to be with Summer and Beth again. Then again, it's not like it would have changed what has already become of him. It's just like he said,
My life is perfect. Rick was always right. Everyone needs to let go.
Now you might be thinking, wait, didn't he try to kill Rick Prime? Clearly, he has a killing grudge against Rick. And yeah, that's not far from believing. But obviously from this scene, Cronenberg Jerry already knew that he wasn't talking to his Rick. I mean, this Rick looks younger, and the Rick he knows is older. Also, his reaction may have to do with his last encounter with other Ricks. So it was likely that, due to that experience, he became aware that there are other versions of Rick out there, and that he shouldn't take his chances with any of them if he wanted to keep surviving. We can even see him take a defensive stance before decisively lowering Prime Rick's guard just so he could land an unexpected fatal kill. Too bad for Cronenberg Jerry that this would lead to his sad demise, as this Rick also had his own surprises. Nevertheless, Cronenberg Jerry's life was one big irony. For a man who hated Rick and continuously opposed him, Jerry became something like him. He became the Rickest Jerry. And that's about it. But what do you guys think? Do you think I was onto something, or do you think I was wrong? Or maybe you want to add or take out something I said in this video. Whatever it is, let's talk about it in the comments. This video was just meant to be a fun thought experiment, so don't take everything I said here as definitive facts. I just wanted a nice return to uploading videos after being gone for months. Besides, it was a good change from the bunch of videos I made on the show concept that has gone radio silent. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to click on the notification bell. That way you know when the next video drops. Thank you for watching. This has been Max from Facts and Fiction Studios, and I'll see you in the next video.